So by the way, I do work for Ciruli Brothers. That's my normal job, but I work from home. I travel back and forth to Mexico all the time and to Peru, Ecuador, you name it. We bring in mangoes from all over the world. We do about 12 million boxes of mangoes, and we have the only successful trademark mango in the United States, which is called Champagne. All right, we sell all the major chain stores. That's my day job, all right? Now, my passion is Mango Men Homestead, okay? Mango Men Homestead, we started in order to teach our children how to enrich your life through mangoes. This is an old story for those of you, most of you here, and that is that mangoes came in here in the 1900s, in the early 1900s. David Fairchild founded the Seed and Plant Introduction Division of the USDA. David Fairchild was brilliant, okay? David Fairchild knew, if you want to control the world, control the genetics, right? So in this rebirth, you guys have to get out of your head Haydens and kits and all that sort of stuff. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. It's time to go celebrate the real diversity of mangoes and grow different things. Now, this is scary to most people, all right? Why is it scary? If you come from India, if you come from the Caribbean, if you come from countries that have a long history with mangoes, I'm telling you, forget Julie. Forget East Indian. Forget Bombay. I know, I was like, yeah, no way, right? I'm telling you, you have to. Because unless you're living in Jamaica and can grow your own tree of it, and even then I'm going to give you a better option than that, but in the world, those varieties will stay so that you can have them in when no one else is around and it's nice and quiet and you want to have your mangoes and do the whole things. I have those mangoes. I mean, it's no one else's business but mine that I eat that mango, right? And that's all well and good. But we have to move on. We have to move on. So that list right there are just some of the 80-some varieties that we grow in our orchard. You have Angie, Bolt, Carioca, Ceci Love, Diamond, Equinox, King Lion, Little Gem, Malika, Orange Sherbet, Nebula, Ruby, Sunny, Sweet Tart, and Venus. And we grow at least another 30 in our orchard that are mangoes. Actually, not everything in there is a mango. The Nebula is not a mango, that is a wango. That list also includes, so chain stores have super tasters. Did you know that? Those are the guys that go out and they go to visit farms and they try new varieties of things and decide what you, the consumer, are going to eat. I disagree with the idea of a super taster, all right? But they have them. And there's two on that list, King Lion and Carioca, that according to the super taster for Sam's Club, are the mango that everyone in this room will like. He's not very far off, by the way. They are very good. But they all have their different points, right? So let's just talk a little bit about what makes, again, moving on. And again, you guys, I know this is like therapy. We're like in therapy here, okay? Okay, you have to let go. So for my Indian friends, you have to forget about Alfonso. Instead, you will eat Angie. Angie has the same flavor profile. Not exactly the same flavor profile, but it's better. You just have to let go. Okay? Let go. If you let go, You will understand, okay? And the Angie it's a small tree, it's productive, it's disease tolerant, it fruits for 2 to 3 months. It's great. I eat that every night. I take it and I make the cardinal sin on this. I actually take one and I cut them up and I put them in the freezer in the middle of the afternoon and I eat that after dinner, okay? And I've had an Angie every day since about the early May. But that's just one of the mangoes I eat every day. I eat about 15, 20 mangoes a day. So it's like I eat a lot of mangoes. Yeah. I didn't say you have to be, mangoes are not like relationships, right? You have many loves in your life when you have mangoes, okay? It's a whole different thing. It's like you got a lot of different mangoes that I eat. All right, Bolt. Now, if you are from Jamaica, and this one was named Bolt for Usain Bolt, okay? I named it for that so that people from Jamaica would know that you're going to love this mango. You will love that fruit. I'm telling you, you will. And it's not very pretty, but man, oh man, oh man, does it taste like something. It's not a great fruit for homeowners. It's hard to grow, hard to make it work, but it's just an incredible flavored thing. Carioca. Best way to describe Carioca is it's a day at the beach. It is absolutely a day at the beach. Forget about flavor profiles. It's a day at the beach, man. You take a bag of Cariocas and eat that. Carioca is the other name for a girl from Rio, okay? Rio de Janeiro. My wife is a girl from Rio, okay? That's it. So it was named by Cecilia, by my wife, okay? And Carioca is again, that's one that the Super Taster says is for the rest of the world, right? Ceci Love, also named for my wife, but not by me, but you never name a mango after your loved ones, by the way. That was a lesson my dad taught me long ago, because what happens if it turns out it's a bad mango, right? Never good. And then, luckily we have never been divorced, so that's all good. So I don't have to change names of mangoes. That's the other thing. It's like tattoos. Getting the name. That's always dangerous. Got to change these things. So, but this was named by Gary Zill for Cecilia, and so Ceci Love, excellent, wonderful mango, citrusy. You can't get anything better. Now, I said that you have to let go, you have to trust, you have to move on. Okay, Diamond, this mango, when you eat this mango, it tastes of Borneo. It tastes like Borneo. It tastes like durians. Now, if those of you have never eaten a durian, you hear a lot of bad things about durians, right? Don't believe it. Okay? What is the worst thing in the world you can be? Not strong, strong and full of energy and all that. The worst thing you can be is boring. Okay? Boring. So white grape juice, all that kind of stuff. Boring. That's terrible. Okay? Diamond tastes like durians. All right? What? What's that? I don't know if they do have it here or not, but it is, you will never forget it. Now, on the internet, they'll tell you that this tastes like rotten vegetables, right? Well, haters gonna hate, as they say, but that's just because they didn't do it right, they didn't grow it right, they didn't harvest it right, and they didn't ripen it right. And they don't appreciate things, and they're closed-minded people. All right, so that's the other thing. Bottom line. This is a great fruit. King Lion, this is named for the rapper who filmed his video at our place during the pandemic. And it is, again, just all of these new genetics that are out there. Little Gem, another one that this is a late season mango. It's on the tree ripening right now. By the way, there is no seasonality like it was 30 years ago. The seasonality has all changed. So we have typically for us in our house, in our orchard, we have 3 blooms every year at least. So you get waves of bloom, so you get fruit early in the season and then late in the season, in the middle of the season, and late things are early, early things are late. It's insane, all right? But keeps us busy, right? Malacca. Now, Malacca is, that's an Indian variety. It's a new Indian variety. That means it's only 200 years old, right? You know, that's India's been around a long time, okay, and with mangoes. Their stuff is vintage. Orange sherbet, this is, those of you who know me and follow us on Facebook know that this is one of our signature mangoes that we do. We love orange sherbets. Ruby, if you wanted to grow Julies, instead you grow a ruby, because ruby this one is also called in the trade, they call this Super Julie, if you want to ever get a tree of that. Now, I, again, don't agree with calling things Super Alfonso, Super Julie like they do. I think that is not the right way to go, but hey, it's not me that's doing it. That's the nursery guys who have done that. They're my friends, but, you know, they do what they want to do. I do what I do. So Ruby is another one there. Sweet Tart is exactly what there was a big discussion yesterday about this whole thing and about Sweet Tart and about things how we name these things. And people said, well, now we should make a convention. There should be an idea of how things should be made, how things should be named. So they should be named in a certain way in order to tell you what they are. Well, if you know us, you know that we have a celestial series, which means that the flavor is out of this world, and it's named after planets and celestial objects and all that kind of stuff. And then we have Greek gods, and then we have Hindu gods, and we have Native American gods, we have spirit animals, we have all sorts of stuff, right? When you're growing mangoes and you want to get your kids involved in this business and you want them to take it over, which, by the way, my kids own everything in Mango Men Homestead. I just work for them. I'm just labor, all right? It's in a trust and I just do the work. But anyway, in order to get them involved in those things, you have to, fight the boredom and the work. So you make silly names for mangoes. That's what we do. Venus, that's actually named after a planet or a god, but it's not named by me. So, now, all of that is what happened in the last 25 years. What's happened in the last 5 years is, by the way, that's my youngest son, Thiago, holding a Bua de Pibiasa. And this is not a mango. That is not a mango he's holding. That is a different species. That comes from Borneo. That is a species that is extinct in the wild, right? And that's growing at our house, right? So we grow over 20 mangiferous species. We have fruit growing and fruiting at our house. Now, you heard what I said, that originally there were 70, we went out after 70 different species, right? Well, we got 20 of them alive and growing. The other 50, we were not successful. They died for whatever reason. Things happen, right? Sometimes you just couldn't get them to graft or whatever. So but we do have 20 species, and those are what we've used to breed. Well, that's one of the species, by the way, I'm sorry. And you see that one is white-fleshed, all right? Now, I have to tell you, these species are not for the faint of heart, okay? These things are They're a little gritty, okay? So this one here has, they call this the bembangan. And this thing, if you get the latex, the sap on your skin and it runs down your arm, you can watch it burning into your arm as it goes down. I'm not kidding you. This thing will put you in a hospital real fast. So it's not the best fruit to eat. Now, you eat it when it's hard and firm like that. If you let it ripen, it's very scary, okay? But if you eat it when it's like that, and you can cut it in divots and put it in like a fish sauce or something like that, then it's okay, right? You know? That's actually, it's a little dark on there, but that's actually our wangos sitting on the porch. And you always know our wangos because we have wild in the name. So it's either go wild, so wild, wild thing, wildling, wildfire. Got a lot. Go wild. We've come up with, there's a whole lot of things you can use with the word wild. And it's been a long road to get to this point, you know, had to die a few times, had to come back a few times, had to leave institutions, end up still talking at institutions. You never ever knew that we would get to this point to be able to do this. Now, again, I really mean it, that what's going to happen is in the future, these will be what we grow because these things are extremely resilient. You don't need to spray them with anything. There's no spraying needed. And so that's the future of the world, guys. The future of the world is not what chemical can I use. The future of the world is what can I grow that I don't have to use chemicals. Okay? If there was one thing that you should ever take home from what I'm saying is that is the future. You know it, we all see it, but we are told, no, we have to go use chemicals. So there's a question right here.
How do you know when a green variety is ready to eat? Like, does it get soft like the other ones, or?
The best way and one of the most challenging things for anybody selling mangoes, growing mangoes, and knowing how to eat them is when do they ripen if you're not familiar with all the different varieties. And that's the whole problem, is we're creating new varieties all the time that you really can't tell. So the real best way to know is when they give to the touch. And when we say that, we mean that when you push on it and you give a gentle pressure, that it starts to give, right? This is what happens when you go into a grocery store and you start pushing on these things. They get really upset with you. You're not supposed to do that. But anyway, when it gives to the pressure, now I don't mean, your finger shouldn't go all the way into it, but it should give. Now, then it comes down to how do you like to eat your mangoes? I like my food to fight back a little bit, okay? I don't like to, my wife would always go away in the summers to go to Brazil with our kids, so they learned Brazil and all that. And when she wasn't there, basically I don't cook anything. I kind of chase things down and grab them and eat them, that kind of thing. Or grow it, pull it out of the ground and eat it. I just turn into I don't know. I literally eat everything raw because I like that better, that consistency, that whole thing. All my seafood, I like ceviches, I like, sashimis, all those things. I don't like things cooked, frankly, unless somebody cooks it for me. Then I'll cook because my mother taught me, and this is the other thing about plant collecting, by the way. When you're a plant collector, what prepares a man to be a plant collector is not an institution, it's not the university you went to, it's your mother, okay? My mother taught me when someone brings you something to eat, you thank them and you are wonderfully gracious to them, and you thank them, and you eat it, and you don't complain, and you don't ever give it back, and you finish it, right? You didn't finish what my mother gave you to eat, she was not going to like you very much, okay? So that comes down to it, so. Yeah. What? Oh.
Well, hello, everyone. Well, I want to thank you. We're going to give you time for some questions, but we want to get ready for our next lecturer. But let's give it up for Richard Campbell, everybody.